Welcome to the Global Indigenous Wisdom Summit, Walking a Path of Healing and Sacred Action, hosted by the Shift Network, where we're joining together for an unprecedented global gathering of Indigenous leaders and kindred relations in service to emerging into a new springtime for humanity. We appreciate you sharing this information with your community. You can also join the conversation on Facebook at the Shift Network.
I come from a generation, from my grandparents, my mother, my grandparents. They were all healers, shamans, and from there my mother. And since I was a girl, I always wanted to be a healer. And I liked to go to the mountain with my mother, and that was my devotion, to help sick people, and I feel very happy to be able to help them. To me, always the jungle is my pharmacy because the plants are so wonderful that Creator left on earth, because he or she, they hear what we need, what we want. So when I go to the mountain, I talk to them because they are there to listen to me. And sometimes when I go to the mountain, they hid themselves because sometimes they get tired, and I tell them, don't hide from me because I'm looking for you, because I want to give life to a lot of people. And I know they listen to me. What is important is what I have in my house. Sometimes they brought me a very big sick person when doctors cannot heal them. They come and ask me. Sometimes I'm very tired, but God told me they have to help these people because they come to see you. And I wake up and I talk to my plants, and I take them and I rub them with a massage. And it's incredible because next day I talk to the person and I ask them how they are, and they tell me we're very good. So the plants are something very precious that God left here on earth, so I communicate with them. My favorite plant is Candela, and I always talk to her. Candela is a plant that can deal with every single sickness, headache, stomachache, a lot of things that want to heal. I say is she because she has flowers. From all things, I pray. I know I'm not perfect because every human being has a defect, and I am not perfect. But I love my body, I shower, I clean myself, and I pray to God. I said, God, today is a wonderful day, and I want all people that come to my house, that their heart is touched, because there's a lot of people that come to my house and they're empty, they have a lot of problems, and I kneel down, and sometimes the first day for some people is very difficult, and God tells me just speak slowly, and I said, well, I always speak from my heart, And I start to talk to this person, and I tell him, you have this problem, you have this illness. And sometimes when this person has emptiness in their heart, they don't have anything, I ask them, you don't believe in God, right? And they just turn away from me. And I ask, why? Haven't your parents taught you to believe in God? And sometimes there's a lot of people that start crying, and I encourage them to cry. Just cry all what you need, and you'll see that things are going to change. And it's incredible because the people start changing, and that illness starts to dissolve, and the individual, they become my friends, and they always call me, and it's incredible. I was born with a gift that I like to talk to the elderly, with the elder people, and I see them to the eyes and then say, come here, child, I like you. And I say, yes, I like you too. It's like we've known each other for a long time. And they say, yes, it's right, but before dying, I'm going to teach you something that's going to stick on your mind. And then I thank God that I always have these old people to teach me. And some of them, they come to my house and they invite me to the mountain, and they tell me they're going to teach me something. And they say, you can use this plant for this, you can use this plant for this other thing. And that's how I learn every day. Since childhood, my grandparents were shamans, and my mother was the only child. My mother started to do rituals since she was a girl. She told me she started since she was 5 years old. My grandparent, he taught him how to grind the corn, the chicha, and at the beginning it was so difficult and because she will fall asleep grinding the chicha, and my grandfather would tell her, don't fall asleep because this person needs you. So she started since 6. She started to learn how to do the chicha, the ritual chicha for healing the sick. And they started in a big house called Bujio, and that's where my mom grew up, doing ritual, doing chicha. And they started at night, healing the sick people. My grandfather was so wonderful that my mother tells me so many good things about them. So after my mom died, my grandfather started heal a lot of people, and I would always go and ask her, so what is this plant for? And she would tell me, every time you do this with faith, every time you have to ask Creator how this plant is used. But you have to be faith, you have to pray, you have to ask for permission to use these plants, and then we'll pick them up and we'll start doing remedies. Incredible, because sick people will get better, and I like how she sang. My mother, she doesn't sing anymore because she's old. She's going to be 80, and she told me, if you don't want what I know, take them to the mountain. The sacred things, just leave them there, but if you want them, just take them and continue do your work. The reason why I'm here is to give messages to the whole world. For me, there's no distinction within races, because we are all sons of God. And we need to learn how to value our lives. We need to learn how to teach our children how to value the jungle, the mountain, the rivers, the water. And I want every single human being to have faith in God, in Creator. And I'm here because of that reason, because I always told my husband, I wish I can give this message to the whole world, so each person can touch their heart. And I know that I'm here and God is with me. For every person that see me, that they touch their heart, so we can learn how to value Mother Earth, the plants, the rivers, the air, love our children, love our parents, love the whole world. And I always wanted to give this message for us to learn each day that life continues. And I know I'm going to be gone one day, but this message is going to be here for the rest of life. I asked my mom a question one day. She always, when the sun was shining, she would sit down and take a baby, and she always asked Creator. She would sing every morning. And I approached her one day, and this was kind of funny, but I saw her and I asked her, why, if white people have money and us, the Embera people, we don't have any money? And she told me, well, Creator left us with something. She would say that nobody was poor. She said that poverty means that we don't have Creator in our heart, or is a bad person. Our grandparents say that us indigenous people, we were left like this because we needed to fulfill a mission, because when the whole world started to crumble, she used one word. She said, the world is like politics, good and bad. She said that the evil, if we leave faith, because of evil, there's going to be hunger, there's going to be violence. And she said, our mission is that we're going to teach white people, everybody, we're going to teach them how to eat, how we indigenous people, we're going to teach how to live, how to value the plants, the jungle, the rivers. That's our mission. And I asked that question, is that we are going to live like this for the whole time? And she said, yes, that's the prophecy of the Embera. I think I sometimes feel sad because my daughter is studying, and I tell her, I'm going to leave books. And she said, Mom, I don't think I'm going to be a healer. And I asked her, why? And she said, well, you are a very good person, and I don't think I have that capacity. And I asked her, why? We don't have to believe that we can't leave this happen. And she said, I'm going to mature and I'm going to be an older woman. And her goal is to graduate from the profession that she wants. But in her heart, she's an Embera. She doesn't speak Spanish. She talks Embera, she speaks Embera, and she uses her paruma, that's how we call it, that's what I'm wearing. And I have told her, don't let it be lost. I think that in my family there's no other healer, because I would like somebody in my family to have what I have here in my head. So we'll see who continues. Well, the prophecy of us, the Embera people, my mom, my grandparents, my mother always said that in all human race, the indigenous people, for us, it's true what my mother said one day, that us, our Embera people, were humble. I don't like to use the word poverty, because those people are the ones that are empty at heart. They don't believe in God. But for me, the person that is humble, she said that us, the Embera people, God gave us a mission, that He said that we, the Embera people, He gave us the wisdom to heal a lot of people. Well, we all say it's a occult sign, because our ancestors, our mother, grandparents, we don't have it unwritten. So my mom told me, I asked her that question, Mother, what is our mission for the Embera people? Father God said that we are the ones that are going to save from the rest of the world to the whole human race. We are going to teach them how to live, how to go back and rescue our culture, our beliefs, because every race has their culture and belief system. We cannot say that nobody had that. In the past, we all had that. So everything she explained to me. So that's our mission for the Embera. I'm a very humble woman, but I have a mission that God always talked to me, always. And I always ask Him, I ask God, our Creator, Father, when are we going to be united and rescue our beliefs, our culture, and rescue our youth? Because each day evil is winning. Is winning in a way that our sons and daughters from the indigenous people, they don't believe in God. The youth start to take drugs, there's issues at home, and a lot of people say that it is television, but that's not true. Where does the issues come from? From home. Because I've always said that our sons or daughters are just a reflection of us, the parents. Because I'm a mother of many kids. I have one daughter, and all of them, most of them are her sons. And none of them are rude, because I taught them that they have to be kind, they have to be humble, because humility can take us to many good things. And I always said, Father, when is there going to be unity? But Father God told me, just be patient. One day there's going to be a man. And when I saw Brother Phil, and we have a friend that his name is Mike Chavez, he told me he wanted to talk to him, and he never responded. And I closed my eyes and I said, Creator. He responded. So I said, wow, God, you are so great that he's going to come. And I was so excited when he responded, even though I didn't know how to use those things. He responded and he said he'll come. So I wanted to share. I always wanted to share with the whole world that we are going to heal. There's a lot of violence, there's a lot of things, but where does this come from? From our home. That's what I wanted to say. I call it occult science because we, the Embera, we don't have a book where you can say this is for this and this is for that. We all have it in our minds. So we say it's like that because we, the Embera people, it seems like we don't know anything, but every Embera, we all know our science, and the secrets are in our minds. God gives me the ability when I'm going to treat a sick person. I kneel down and I visualize the person I can visualize that person, and I touch that person with my hand, and I close my eyes and start talking with God, and the person can be afar. So next day, if it's very sick, they start to feel better. And I feel that the energy is in my hand, in my mind, in my heart, and everything is made through God, because He's the one that gives us the power, the permission to have that strength here, and in the hand. My mother always told me that the plants, because my mother had a lot of capacity, she had the ability to see a lot more than I do. She had a spiritual capacity, and she told me that the plants talk, and she always told me the plants are like human beings because they talk. And I thought that it was a lie, but sometimes when I go to the mountain looking for that plant, there's nothing. And I say, oh my God, this is unbelievable. And she would tell me, when they hide, you have to tell them not to hide. And then they are. So I always say that the plants listen to us, they see us, they have intelligence, pure intelligence. The only thing that I would ask is that they don't allow their kids. I feel sometimes very sad. I see my brothers in Verada, they don't want to talk our language. And I always say that the whole indigenous race, that we don't forget our language, our traditions, our culture, everything that we have to teach our children. Because I say that because of my daughter. My daughter speaks perfectly en Verá, and it hurts my heart because yesterday when I went to the hotel, I talked to a young woman. I talked her in Embera, and she told me, why are you talking like that to me? And I feel sad because how is it that we forget about our language, and that cannot be. So that's the message I want to give. I think that us indigenous people here in Panama, Panama is a very nice country, but sadly, I don't want to talk bad about Panama. I would like all the world to value their indigenous people, because we are all humans and we have been created equal. And I see a lot of racism here in Panama. If they are indigenous, they don't want to know. We are discriminated. They tell us things. And if we are poor, that is worst. And I would like rich people in the whole world that they touch their heart, and we are all brothers created from the same God, and the only difference is that we speak a different language. And my mom told me that we can love each other there's a lot of illness because the civilization that we have, the television, the food, the whole world is contaminated. Because sometimes we as human beings, the ego is so big, we're so ambitious. There's a lot of people that only think about material things, and I don't think that's how it needs to be. I don't like to use the word poor because as I told you before, nobody is poor. There's no distinction to the eyes of God. And I think every day illness is there because we don't believe in Creator, we eat badly, there's a lot of cultural genocide, and I also say that food is no longer natural. It's contaminated with poison, and the people are very violent at their homes. You can see them on the street as a dove, but in their homes they're demons. So all those things that we live with are cancerous. Where does that come from? Because there's a lot of people that have their spirit sick. There's no love in their families. And I always thought that that's where it comes from. I think we need to go like the crab, walking backwards. We need to look for our roots. We need to be united because we are all sons of God, and that's how we can help all the people that are sick with cancer, because it's not only that, but there's a lot of illness. I believe that the healer is like the doctor. So every single sick person needs to have faith. But there's a lot of people that don't have faith. And sometimes we healers fall in that category. There's a lot of people that come to my home and they don't have faith and they cannot heal. So whoever comes and have faith, they could be very sick, but I've seen people that they were very sick. Like one person have breast cancer, the other one had very big ball in their uterus, and those two women came to my house. I talked to their families, and I think I made a good connection with them, and they have learned how to help their sick, and now they are very good. I have healed many people from cancer and a lot of illnesses. I think that as women, we have to be brave and strong. A mother always have to be like a hen with its chickens. And I think women, the time has come when We need to teach our children how to value life, how to value brothers, sisters, and the role of the women is huge. I'm a woman and I'm a mother of 10 children, and my children grew and nobody is a drug addict or a criminal, and I feel so happy that my sons have valued their life and they are moving forward, and I feel very happy. I wanted to thank you for sharing this message. I hope it gets to all the people that watch this, and I give thanks to Creator because it's been a while that I wanted to give this message.
Thank you for joining us for the Global Indigenous Wisdom Summit, brought to you by the Shift Network. For more information about joining our global community of people awakening to their divine humanity and taking inspired action, visit theshiftnetwork.com. Please share this summit with your friends and family. We deeply appreciate your dedicated support.